Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are having a good week. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much for your support. By the way, there was a question on my my last video about which Andy am I talking to on Ethereum. It's basically the Andy that just crossed the $100 million market cap. If you recall correctly, and if you want to look for the address, go check my first video, which was about a month ago. Market cap was around $1.5, $1.8 million, and it's now $103 million at the time that I'm recording. So great win on that lottery ticket. It plays off the idea that the Pepe Universe coins, meaning Brett, Andy, and Wolf, would do very well. As you guys know, I've split my Brett into two. One of them is doing a bit poorly. The other one is doing very good. And on Wolf, that one is also doing great. But of course, Andy, I got in at 1.8 million market cap, and it's now worth more than 100 million. So that's a big, big, big win for me. And I don't charge any money for it. And once again, I've started to take out a little bit of profit. My goal is to eventually some of these lottery tickets to put me risk-free in the cycle. But in any case, oh, and by the way, PULSECHAIN and PULSEX, they remain what they are. They are leveraged on Ethereum. So if Bitcoin and Ethereum are struggling, PULSECHAIN will also struggle. It is just like that. I do believe that Ethereum will do very well by the end of the cycle. So to me, that's all that matters. As I mentioned, 2025 is what I'm looking for, or at least second half of 2024. Start looking for potential top signals. Start looking for some strange movements for the upside that could cause a bit of a different cycle. So far, I haven't seen it. But let's go to the meat in the bone, to what's happening in the Middle East. As I mentioned before several times, escalation of tensions on the Middle East, obviously, in the short term are very negative. Over the long term, they're actually positive for risk assets. Why? Because inflation stops being important, everything starts to be tolerated, more money printing, lowering interest rates to win the war for freedom, whatever they're going to call it. So that will actually be positive. Of course, if this escalates, as I've heard some people trying to say that this is going to be a next world war and it's going to be like a nuclear holocaust and all of this kind of stuff, of course, in that scenario, nothing wins. So it doesn't really matter what you own, because basically you're going to be completely annihilated on the physical level, let alone on the digits on the screen level. So that to me is very clear. Then at that time period, if you really believe that that's going to happen, then probably your best purchases would be bunkers, food, gun, ammo, and all this kind of stuff. If you and liquor and tobacco and all this kind of stuff. So if you do believe that, and I'm not suggesting that that's going to happen, but if you do believe that, then I guess that would be your best edge now, would it be? Now, in the short run, things are bad, just like 2022, when what happened in Europe with Russia and Ukraine happened. In the short run, it was really damaging. After a while, we were hitting all-time highs. Basically, that's what ends up happening. More money is created, so that money ends up going into the risk assets, and this is what you're gonna have. Now, isn't it funny, because I've been mentioning this, the Bitcoin halving is about to happen, and it seems to me now that we're gonna have our little 38% sell-off, as we usually have, which means I'm looking at Bitcoin 45 to 50k, and around that level we should start going up again. Now, last halving, the 38% sell-off was triggered by the zombie virus. In 2016 was by the big orange man coming, and it was becoming more likely to win the elections, and China just came out of a big crisis in 2015. My point being, it always seems to something happens around the Bitcoin halving that leads to the 38% sell-off. So when people were telling you that this time was going to be different, no way, Bitcoin's not going to sell off, that's it, don't you see the ETFs are here, now everyone is buying it, no way, no way, no way. Well, we'll see. I do think we're going to see Bitcoin 38% down from the top, which was about 74k, so that would put it around 45k. But what if some people start buying a little bit before we get there? Maybe we stop at 48, 47, so don't quote me on that. Anything between 45 to 50k looks like a potential bottom for me, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, I don't care about narratives of people. Look, even with the news on the Hong Kong spot ETF for Ethereum and Bitcoin, it pumped the price for a while, but by the end of the day, the whole thing was sold off. When the market wants to go down, it will go down. Doesn't matter how good things are. But the point is, by the way, to be clear, so for newcomers who are here who are not aware of this, what I say is not that the bull run is over. So don't confuse these matters. What I'm saying is simple. Every time we have a bull market in crypto, you have the last sell-off is the Bitcoin halving, in which is a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So everybody prepares for the halving. The halving happens. We go down about 38% over a month and a half, and then we go up. Now, I'm not so concerned about, but sudden wealth, will it be a month and a half or 2 months or 3 months or, 3 weeks? I don't know. That detail, I do not know. What I'm looking for, what I'm more concerned about is the price, rather than actually, do we take 2 weeks and a half or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 3 weeks and 3/4? I mean, that to me is irrelevant. As soon as I start to see Bitcoin between 45 and 50k, that's it. That's probably the last time you're going to see Bitcoin that low. That's my opinion. Now, does that mean that you should trade this? That means that you should, oh my God, Suddenwell told me this, and now I'm going to sell all my crypto and rebuy it later. No. What if I'm wrong? First of all, I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm just telling you exactly what I think is happening. And of course, Peter Schiff is doing his victory lap, as he does every Bitcoin halving. And he fails to realize that then he looks like a fool. But then what he's going to do is to predict the top every single week. And after 52 weeks gone wrong, typically the top happens about 12 months after the halving. Sometimes it can go up to 18 months, like the last cycle, but it's between 12 and 18. Okay? So that's about 52 weeks to 52 plus 26 to 78 weeks. Okay, so it's going to be between 52 and 78 times wrong, because it's going to predict the top every week. And then eventually you're going to have the bear market, and it's going to be right, just like a broken clock. If you say it's 2 p.m. every single day and the clock is broken, eventually you're going to get it right. So that's what it's going to do. This is all on pace with what is expected. And why are also stocks selling off? Is this a big deal? Look, we started off the year very strongly. We actually started the year way above your average bullish year. Not your average base case year. I'm talking about your average bullish year. So you're having a breather. You're having a correction. Now, why are you having the correction? Markets were pricing in perfection. Something came in that disrupted perfection. So the markets adjust. Many of the times more than they should. Why? Because at the same way they go up more than they should, they also correct more than they should. This doesn't go like a perfect pendulum. It doesn't go from one side to the middle and stops. No, it goes from one side to the other side and then stops in the middle. What is happening? Bonds are extremely volatile to the downside. Why have I been pounding the table on this channel? Look at the bond market. Look at the 10-year in particular. Look at TLT, the bond ETF with average 20 years duration, 10 and 30 years. If that thing gets too volatile, you can have stocks and other markets going up for a little while, but they will not last until that market stabilizes. Why? The bond market is the main market in the world. The other markets, the stock market, the crypto market, even the commodities market, are derivatives of the bond market. If the bond market enters into much volatility and tumult, you can rest assured that the rest will follow. This happens over and over and over again. And then the reasons may differ. Maybe somebody threw some missiles over there. Maybe somebody invaded over there. Maybe the inflation came hotter than expected. Maybe there's an issue over there in that part. That doesn't matter. That is the reason why. Look at the bond market and it will tell you where we're going. Once that market stabilizes, it can be at lower prices. There's nothing to prevent it from being at lower prices. The point is it stable, or are you seeing 50 basis points moves on yields every single day? That's the key. So this is the key when you look at these markets. Tune out the noise. Where are we in the cycle for Bitcoin? We are actually where we should be. We are actually better in terms of pricing, because price should be much lower than it is. We should be around 45K or so, and we are at 62, 63. So we are much better than we should. But in terms of timing, it's coming into fruition. Around the Bitcoin halving, a big black swan / big event happens. That makes Bitcoin drop about 38%. Peter Schiff gets very excited, throws a victory lap, and then we have the proper bull market afterwards. And to me, I'm looking at the fundamentals more than I'm looking for the short time frame. Example, Bitcoin new supply will be cut from 900 to 450. That's great. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or the former Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, already sold more than $15 billion in Bitcoin. It has sold way more than half of its stash. That's also coming to an end. The DOJ has been selling Bitcoin. There's also less to sell now. The ETFs also in Hong Kong will be positive, but it will take some time. Will be as strong as the US? Probably not. But they will have, I expect, a net positive effect. Are pension funds starting to buy Bitcoin? Yes, they are. When will they accelerate the buying? As soon as the price goes up. You see, these are reflexive markets. The Japanese government pension fund, they don't want to buy Bitcoin at 45. They want to buy it at 85. Just because they have a fancier name than you, they think just the same as we do. They buy the green and they sell the red every single time. So there are a lot of things which will change for the benefit, I think, of the price of Bitcoin. And with that, the rest of the market, in my view, will be dragged upon. Now, I'm happy that one of my meme stocks is actually doing extraordinarily well while the rest of the market is collapsing. That tells me that potentially when the real bull market comes, don't forget, we just had the mini bull market, for the first half of the year or the first quarter of the year. But when you have the real one, I'm talking the one where athletes start to want to be paid in crypto, when maybe Jim Cramer is considering launching his own coin, you name it. That's the real bull market. That's the one where things go so euphoric that people believe and start saying stuff like, we will never have a bear market again. The dollar is finished because Bitcoin will replace it. Oh, Elon Musk got to Mars. Bitcoin will be the official currency of Mars. Whatever. All this kind of stuff will happen in due time. Has it happened now? No. There's one key indicator that all people should know about. When Coinbase is the #1 downloaded app on Google Play and Apple Play, and the Apple Store and the Google Play, then that's the top. Every cycle of not every cycle, the last 2 cycles, since there's Coinbase basically, the app, once it reaches #1, but within 2 weeks the top is in. So Coinbase is not even top 200 yet. So we have a long way to go. However, it's once again the same principle that I've discussed before. You see, when you look at the chart, the Bitcoin halving sell-off, 38% 2012, 39% 2016, 38% 2020, they are very obvious in the chart. When you look at it, oh yeah, that happened over 1 month and a half, blah, blah, blah. However, when you're living it, it's way different. It's like when you're reading about history in school. When you read about, oh, there was this war between these two countries, right? One thing is to read about it. The other thing is actually, imagine yourself in the battlefield watching the war happen. Very different, right? Think about it. The missiles were not even launched 5 days ago. Let alone what I'm talking about, 1 month and a half. Maybe in 1 month nobody remembers it. Who knows, right? Point being, there's nothing new that's happening at the moment. Just repetition of the same things. However, you need to understand something. These YouTubers, their living is content. So everything is a big deal in the sense that everything is unprecedented, everything is unexpected, everything is the end of the world. Why? Because they need you to come back. So if you feel that you're becoming overwhelmed with so much craziness around on YouTube, maybe just disconnect a little bit. Maybe just take a week off from thinking about too many things. Maybe watch a few B movies, which are garbage, but are your guilty pleasure. Whatever. Try to tune out the noise, and you'll see that in 12 months' time, all of this is just blips in little charts. That's all. With that, guys, thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll probably do a live stream on Friday, but I will keep you posted on that. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.